When you hear the crack of that bat, you know it's springtime. On this sports desk, it's softball previews. The Lady Warriors are looking to begin again this season. Could a returning coach be the key? The Pioneer League is nothing but a logjam. The Lady Spartans aren't looking to be overlooked, even with the powerhouse of El Segundo, North, and Torrance returning Division I talent on their rosters. From softball to baseball and a whole lot more, get fired up because it starts right now, Sports Desk. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. How's your bracketology doing? There are definitely some softball teams who want to be in the CIF brackets at the end. Let's get started on the previews. The West softball team is finally off the carousel. Yes, for the second year in a row, they have the same coach in Corey Hans. The coaching carousel that plagued them for several years brought disjointed focus and no communication. Sports Desk reporter John Lewis tells us how winning only 4 league games last year brings the Lady Warriors to speak the same language this year.
Let's go, kid, is what you'll often hear from the dugout and stands at a Lady Warriors softball game. But while West Torrance may be a younger squad, they're sure growing into a mature and respectable ball club under the leadership of second-year head coach Corey Hans and seniors Jessica Andrews, Amanda Ross, and Tiffany Smith.
Well, it's the teamwork. We've got to be a team. It's the communication. We are a old team. We've got 8 seniors on the team. But we're inexperienced where we only have 3 returning starters from last year. And we're carrying 16 right now. We've got 7 that are, or 8 that are seniors. So we're trying to get the communication going, and we're trying to get the leadership through the seniors that we're hoping will help carry us.
On the left side of West infield are third baseman Tiffany Smith and shortstop Amanda Ross, who are batting first and third respectively in the Warriors lineup. They know their contributions will go a long way into achieving their goals.
I think it's very important. Hitting is kind of contagious with the team, and so if I get on base and I get a hit, then it usually leads the rest of the team to get hits too.
I'd really like it to make it to CIF, especially since it's senior year. We haven't really done much, and I'd like to be Bay League champs for once.
Although she wasn't on the field practicing this day due to a minor wrist injury, the third senior and captain of the Warriors team is catcher Jessica Andrews, who seems optimistic as well on her outlook of the team.
Yeah, I would just really like us to make it to CIF because we haven't done that in a long time. And the banner in the gym with the CIF year is kind of getting a little beat up there.
Although it's only his second year on the job, Coach Corey Hans certainly seems to have the respect and attention of these ladies, and he says that it goes both ways.
Not so much that I wasn't expecting. I'm very happy with the way that Amanda Ross is playing and Tiffany Smith. They're both very solid players. We're young at other positions, and we're going to have some growing pains, and we understand that. And we're just going to try to keep on working. The girls are working very hard right now, and they've worked hard all through the off season. And you know, it's again a growing pains for us, and we'll keep working.
After finishing last season 11-14 in overall play, the Warriors softball team is searching for some optimism. West Torrance will look to second-year head coach Corey Hans for some key instructional development, as well as leadership from seniors Tiffany Smith, Jessica Andrews, and Amanda Ross. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm John Lewis.
Thanks, John, for the story. The Lady Warriors' loss of Kimi Takahashi on the mound and Kelly Atkinson at center field might hurt them down the stretch, but this preseason, Tiffany Smith, Amanda Ross, and Jessica Andrews are rallying the troops. Coach Hans is slowly but surely putting this team together. We're going to see more from them later on in the show when they host Torrance. Let's now move on to the first of the 3 Pioneer League teams that we're going to talk about in these softball previews. The Lady Spartans lost 3 league games last season and made it all the way to the second round of the CIF playoffs. Their loss of 2 large bats in Shannon Hokama and Ashley Phelps at graduation might hurt them, but Ashley Morgado tells us how ready the key returning players are to compete in this logjam of a Pioneer League.
The girls of South High softball are gearing up for a great season. Already off to a great start, the experienced team is ready to have a different outcome than last year.
Last season, I feel that we kind of had a tough break our last game, but we've been working really, really hard to come back, so it looks bright.
The team is returning 5 seniors and 6 juniors. With so much talent coming back, head coach Kevin Von Wardenberg is optimistic about his 2012 season.
We're excited about this year. We bring back a lot of returners from last year, have a good mix of senior leadership with some underclassmen that are going to play a big role for us, and we're excited to compete this year.
The Spartans will have senior stud Carolyn Snodgrass in the pitching circle. However, although her talent and leadership is great, it's her health that will need to be the main focus.
Basically, it's all me this year. We don't have our backup pitcher this year, so they're riding my arm the whole season.
The girls are already off to a great start with a 6-3 record that actually had 5 wins in a row right out of the gate. Second baseman Alex Kosoff talks team strengths.
Our hitting is doing really well right now, and I think we have such great chemistry on the team that just helps the camaraderie, so that makes it a lot better. And we talk really well, we back each other up, so I think that's really key.
So the Spartans know what is good and what will work for them, but there are always things in the start of a season that need some fine-tuning. Center fielder Paige Kiesling explains.
All of us together, we just need to start working as one. And I think that once we get that, we're pretty close. Once we get that taken care of, we're going to be good to go.
Like Kiesling said, if the two come together, well then, it's a winning season. And the recent CIF Division III polls agree. South is ranked 7th, 2 spots behind city rival Torrance. But Coach Wardenberg isn't fazed.
It's one game at a time. I mean, it's a real competitive league. North going undefeated last year are the favorites this year, and Torrance always tough games against them. We split with them last year, and we're really looking forward to just going a game at a time and competing for that league title.
Thanks, guys, for the interviews and for the story, Ashley. A quick hit list of the returning players sees Carolyn Snodgrass on the mound and Paige Kiesling at center, Alex Kosoff, Denise Flores, and Jasmine Adami are the key returners in the infield. We've got some more Pioneer League softball previews after this short break, so stick right here.
Never look a howler monkey in the eye. We built the entire library out of recycled bottles. Fried ants are delicious.
We finished a clinic in a rainstorm.
Really?
That was a confidence builder.
My students actually ended up teaching me. So I learned this dance. I'll show you this dance.
Yeah. In la keg, a la king.
The classroom was more of a class tent. I think managing a sales team is tough. Try working with 5 different villages. My alarm clock was a rooster. Beans for breakfast, beans for lunch, beans for dinner. We ate a lot of beans. I learned a 3rd language.
My seatmate on the bus was a goat.
Always include the village elders. Always. My morning commute was by canoe. After 2 months, I was ready to quit, but after 2 years, I didn't want to leave.
I didn't know I had it in me.
Turn 2 years of service into a lifetime of experience.
The Lady Saxons swept the Pioneer League last season, gaining the crown. Sure, that was nice, but getting knocked out in the second round wasn't. Head coach Howard Miller is lucky again this season to have a star on the mound and an angel with more than just wings at short. But Brittany Johnson tells us that that's not all the Lady Saxons have this season.
I'm here at North High where the Lady Saxons are gearing up for their season. Last year they were undefeated in league. Let's hit the field and check out how they're doing this year.
Break out those bats and dust off those gloves because it's that time of year again. The Lady Saxons are looking mighty strong this year and they are ready to hit the field. Last season was the first time in 3 years that the team won a league championship, and the coach says they are hungry for more.
Now we want to be greedy and try to repeat.
No worries, Coach. We all like to greedy. Coach says he has no worries about this team because he has a lot of strong returners who have been through the battle. The Saxons still have Kelsey Cairns as pitcher, who is coming off of a spectacular Pioneer campaign. Cairns is predicted to have another big year and has junior Amy Rodriguez and sophomore Sydney Overly to back her up. Senior shortstop Coco Tawali'i remains one of the South Bay's top returners. She made All-CIF and the Daily Breeze All-Area team.
The tough games bring out the best of them. They thrive on the good competition.
Not only are the girls getting it done on defense with some of their top returners, Coco tells me they're looking pretty good on offense this year as well.
We're pretty strong, 1 through 9, so we have a good lineup.
Jordan Stamp says a good lineup isn't the only thing that will take them far this year. She says the team chemistry has a lot to do with their success.
You can feed off of each other, and that plays back onto the field because you have to know how each other work. So when you know your player on and off the field, I think it's a better strategy.
And that strategy is what Coach says puts them one up over the other teams.
We have good hitting, good pitching, good defense. Everything's pretty solid, but we like to think the one thing that maybe puts us over the hump sometimes against some of the teams we play against is the team chemistry. They have a genuine, sisterhood together, and we like to think that goes a long way in helping us win close games.
In the beginning, we started off kind of, I wouldn't say weak, but not as strong as usual. But as the days go on, we get stronger and stronger with each practice, so it's coming together well.
Though they are all individuals,
we all come out and show our own talent and stuff, and it all comes together really good.
The Lady Saxons share one common goal.
I'm excited, and I want to win league and win CIF.
Okay, what's the one school that you guys are looking to take it to this year?
Torrance, probably.
Why Torrance?
We've always had a rivalry with them. It's always a really good game, and that's the game we always play for.
While the Saxons might look tough on the field, off the field, well, that's a different story.
We're just wild and crazy.
Every girl on this team is crazy, pretty much. Everyone is always dancing and singing and having fun.
The Saxons are still grinding it out right now in preseason play, but stay tuned throughout the season to see if the ladies can dance their way to another championship. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Brittany Johnson.
Thanks, Brittany, for the report. Those girls are a lot of fun. I'd like to note that on this already long list of returners, we are only including the seniors. Coco at shortstop. She's headed to BYU. Kelsey on the mound is going to Cal State East Bay. And you know that San Jose State bound Sydney Haleen and Delaware State's Jordan Stamps, along with Gabby Fortiani and the rest of the stellar underclassmen, you're not forgotten. They're the main ingredients to the Saxons dominating and really hoping to take that Pioneer League. Let's go ahead and talk about one more team. Take your pick which team to be impressed by in this tough league, and you'll most likely fall on the Tartars in your first two choices. The Lady Tartars lineup is on the younger side again, but that didn't stop them from going into the third round of CIF play last season. And new Sports Desk reporter Adam Serrao tells us more.
The Lady Tartars softball team is looking to dominate in yet another competitive Pioneer League season. Constantly battling for hometown bragging rights with both North and South High, Torrance has had its share of division titles. They will try to get back on top again this year by looking towards the senior leadership of both Danielle DeCastro and Sarah Helm.
It's sad knowing it's my last year, so that makes me want to just go out with a bang and try to, lead us to a championship.
Center fielder Sarah Helm seconds that thought.
How does it feel to be a senior on the team? Any added pressure to you? Any leadership roles that you take in? Anything like that?
Yeah, it's intense. It's our last year, so it's kind of sad, but I don't know.
Cameron Watts is as slick as can be out in the field, and her speed benefits the top of the Torrance lineup. She knows the type of preparation necessary to come into league and play against a team like North and still come out victoriously.
We prepare a lot because this year we have a national tournament and we're going to Vegas. So we play better teams than we do in league, so we're preparing pretty hard.
Pitcher Christina Washington has what it takes to put her team over the hump and pull out another deep playoff run for the Tartars.
How do you think this season stacks up compared to previous seasons?
I think this season will be a lot better because we're all just ready and really excited for, season to come, and I think we're going to do a lot better than last year.
Lady Tartars are looking more dangerous than ever this year. With their proficient defensive abilities and power at the plate, head coach Don Glavich currently has the team sitting in first place in the Pioneer League. The girls may just have what it takes to bring a Pioneer League crown back to Torrance for the first time since they completed the task in 2010. Now signing off for the Sports Desk, this is Adam Serrao.
Thanks, Adam Serrao, and welcome aboard to the Sports Desk. Danielle DeCastro and Sarah Helm are definitely keepers of those fly balls for the Tartars. Christina Washington and Cameron Watts, they're underclassmen, but they are leaders and beyond scary for those opponents. There are other key players on this squad, and I can't wait to see who fills it out for the team. Now that wraps up the City of Torrance teams, and we'll visit the Knights in the coming weeks. But after this short break, we head over to South to check out how hot their bullpen is.
I love the concept of mentoring because you're really able to make a difference in the life of one young person.
My mentor is a role model for me. She told me about all the opportunities that there is in life.
She has transformed into an amazing young woman, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of that. I think a mentor can really open the eyes of a young person to all the possibilities that are out there for them if they just go after their dreams.
So get involved and do your part. Invest in the future. Mentor a child.
Hi, I'm Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn. Keep an eye on the SportsDesk.
Welcome back. Last week we met the South Spartan baseball team. Coach Grady Sane is impressed with his pitching staff and is expecting big things from the middle of his lineup. Losing to Banning last season by a run, the Spartans are looking to more than their bullpen for inspiration. Ashley Morgado, why don't you fill us in on the rest?
Last year, the Banning Pilots earned a 3-2 bragging win over the Spartans, but not this year. Last month, the Spartans got payback with a 13-1 win. So when these two teams met again last week, it was a battle for bragging rights. All right, first inning. Aki Yamamoto on the mound for the Spartans. Hits Banning's leadoff, Celso Bueno, and then one batter later, drills Christopher Johnson in the arm. Not a great start, but this double play will end Banning's ups, and with no runs, Yamamoto dodges that one. South came out strong, taking a 4-0 lead, but in the bottom of the fifth, the Spartan bats came alive. Yamamoto started the rally with a double to let Joe Aldape score. Joey Rotunia singles, and that allows Yamamoto to come home. Next batters, Mike Esparza and Nick Cohen singled as well and battled in some runs of their own. End of the fifth, score now, 9-0. Banning tried to make a comeback in the sixth. This sacrifice fly will let Rudy Alvarez, who was hit by a Yamamoto pitch, score. Johnson will score later in the sixth to put up 2 more runs for the Pilots. Last chance now for Banning, after South added 2 more in the sixth. Jonas Sakato on the mound now. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. And the Pilots ground out to second to end the game. Final score, 11-2.
We've beaten Banning before, and we knew coming into the game that we were the better team. So today we came up with a lot of confidence, and we hit the ball hard, and our pitching was really strong today.
So South earned another win against Banning, with Jonas Sakato finishing on the mound. With the win, the Spartans are now 5-2 in season. From South High School, I'm Ashley Morgado with the Sports Desk.
Whoop it up. The Spartans are going strong after their huge victory over Banning, with Nick Cohen's 3 ribbies and Joe Aldape and Mike Esparza's contributions. The Spartans are looking good, starting this week at 5-2. The Tartars are at 6-3 early in this preseason. 3-0 at home, though. North is an impressive 6-3 and are looking for more wins. In last week's episode, we incorrectly identified 2 North players. Apologies to them and their biggest fans. And by the way, North came in 3rd in the Pioneer League last season and also saw CIF action. Bishop Montgomery is looking for more wins as well, and they are 1-7 starting this week. We'll have highlights in their game against Santa Monica in a few episodes. That's actually St. Monica's. And there's a lot more baseball coming your way in a few weeks and a lot more after this break. Stick around.
What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has taught teamwork, creativity, and problem-solving for more than 25 years. A major university study showed our students are ahead of others in creativity and critical thinking. Learn more at startateen.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
This neighborhood sure has changed a lot over the years. You know, there was a time when people like me couldn't live here. I will never forget being told I wasn't welcome in this neighborhood. Well, I own this building now. The Fair Housing Act made a difference for someone like me, so I can choose where I want to live, free from discrimination. Glad you could make it. Right this way.
At the top of the show, you met the Lady Warrior softball team. Now let's see how they match up against a comparable team in Hawthorne. John Lewis tells us if they do more than just get the preseason kinks out.
After starting off the season a little shaky, the West Torrance softball team came into Thursday's game against Hawthorne as winners of 2 of their last 3 while riding the hot hands of some offensive firepower. They seem to be playing with focus as well as smiles on their faces. We take you to the bottom of the 3rd where it was a 1-1 game at that point. Bases were loaded for Jessica Andrews, who hits a deep double past the right fielder and drives in 3 to make it 4-1 West. Andrews would finish with 4 RBIs on the day.
I was just looking to get the bat on the ball. Obviously, my teammates did an awesome job of getting on base, and I was just trying to help them out by bringing them on in.
Now to the bottom of the 4th, where West led 5-1. Number 28, Christy Hargrave, would double and drive in Abigail Estrada to give the Warriors a 5-run lead. Warriors pitcher Allie Cox would struggle with her command early, but she soon found a rhythm and pitched a complete game with 4 strikeouts.
I feel pretty good, but I just throw my game and I really depend on my fielders. They're doing a great job, especially the outfielders like Abby and Courtney and Brooke. They all had great catches today.
Hawthorne would try for a last-ditch effort in the top of the 6th inning, and they would come up with a 3-run homer from number 10, Diana Montenegro, seen here, to make it 11-6 West at that point. But West would tack on another run in the bottom of the 6th, and a 2-out pop-out to left with runners on the corners for Hawthorne in the 7th would give the Warriors a 12-6 victory. After the game, West Torrance head coach Corey Hahns talked about his team staying true to themselves.
Well, they work real hard, and they're a team that doesn't seem to get down on themselves after the fact. They'll bounce back, and that's good. They need to be resilient. We're young as far as varsity experience, but they're learning. They're learning how to play the intensity of a varsity game.
Congrats on the huge win and confidence booster for those Lady Warriors, and they're now 3-4 on the season. That's all we've got for softball action, but don't forget about the Torrance National Fast Pitch Tournament. It's happening over at Wilson Park this week. It's March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, and you can be sure that we're going to be bringing you all the highlights from the tournament. But now's the time that you can let us know something we might not. Take a look at the number on your screen, 310-618-5762. Email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. You can watch all of our shows on our government website, as well as shows from 2010, 2011, and 2012 on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode, as well as thanks for letting us know things that we don't and ways we can get better here on the Sports Desk. Until next time, Torrance, play hard.